All I have to do is flip the switch. That turns it off. That turns it on. Isn't science wonderful? And then when we go back down, the lights came on, and the food processors appear to be on. And let's check them in here. Yes, they are. Excellent. Okay. There you have it. It is kind of cool to think about, the fact that we're on the moon now. No vegetation, no wildlife, no water, no air. And it's cool because, it's, now we really feel like we are playing a space game, All right, well, oh, wow, check that out. Look at that. We have an Akua Rise. That's pretty neat. Welcome, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm an old guy gaming, and in this episode, we are going to... What are we going to do in this episode? First of all, I'm going to show you what we did on the Raider over the weekend, the stream that we had on Saturday morning. Then we're going to go set up a switch for our furnace room, and after that, I think we're going to go to the moon. Okay, so that's kind of what the plan is for this episode. So let me show you what we did. We accomplished quite a bit on the Saturday stream on the Cylon Raider. I have got quite a bit done on the wings. The fuselage is pretty much done, at least for the first version. I might change this up later. I haven't decided yet, and I do have to fill this part in too. But we spent pretty much most of the stream Saturday morning working on these wings, and I got them pretty darn close. I still need to do... Hey, look, there's a bird. I still need to do a little bit more trimming and cutting and that sort of thing. But they're getting pretty close, I think, to what the Raider actually looks like. And so I'll be tweaking some more of that on the next stream Saturday morning is the plan for that. But I just wanted to kind of show you the progress that we made on that. And, if you're interested, either come and join me on the stream on Saturday morning, or you can certainly see the stream posted to my YouTube channel afterwards. The other thing that we did in the Raider on Saturday is we also worked on the interior quite a bit as well. So let's take hold on a sec. Let's take a quick peek of that. There we go. All right, so we put some refrigerators here. We put some oxy tanks in here and the ventilator. This front room is going to be for guns. So my plan is to put a rail gun in the center and probably 2 Gatlings on the side, and then we'll have the ammo boxes for those up here. And then we have generators, 2 generators and 2 fuel tanks underneath the generators in the floor here. This here is a constructor, and then underneath the constructor, I believe I have 3 RCSs. Back here, we started putting in some storage tanks. And then I have another fuel tank, a couple of fuel tanks, a warp tank, and 2 more engines and RCSs back here. And I wanted to separate the engines so they're not all in the same spot in case, part of that ship gets damaged. We have a little bit of redundancy built into the ship. So yeah, that's pretty much what we did on the Saturday stream. And so the ship's coming along nicely. I'm really pleased with how well it's doing so far. And as you can see, this thing is a big ship. For a small vessel, it is huge. Particularly when you take into account, the length of the wings and everything. So anyway, let's go ahead and head back to the base now. And I'm going to set up a switch for the furnace so that I can turn it off and on without actually being inside. Now I know I can also do that from the P menu, but that's more clicking and messing around in the menu. I'd rather be able to just flip a switch and turn that thing off or on. So we're going to set that up, and then like I said, after that I think we're going to go ahead and probably make enough stuff to build a basic base, and I'll probably do that off camera, and then we'll go to the moon, and we're actually going to make ourselves just a little outpost base on the moon so I can start mining the moon and raiding some of the POIs there and getting more materials, and just do it for the hell of it, for the fun of the adventure. There's a couple of major ways, or main ways I should say, that you can do switches in Empyrion. You can just set up a switch and have it activate something. In our case, it'll activate the furnace. Or you can set up logic circuits, which are more complex circuits that can do multiple things using, AND logic, OR logic, latches and reset gates and stuff like that. this particular switch that I'm going to make isn't going to require anything that fancy. It's going to be fairly basic, but later on, I'm sure we'll probably mess with some of the more advanced circuits in the game too. Another thing I could do too is I could set up a motion sensor, right? That when I go through the elevator, it'll turn all the lights off down here. Now, we might even mess with that. We might even actually try that. I hadn't planned to do that, but now that I think about it, that probably wouldn't be too difficult to do. So, let's see. We need to make, we need to be in the base, and we need to make a sensor and signal block. Let's make 2 of those. They're pretty cheap and easy. This is just more stuff for the small vessel that I'm going to put over here for now, because we don't need that for now. Yeah, okay. I was just checking something real quick. So, before we get messing with that, though, let's do this. We need flux coils to make another advanced constructor. I kind of like to have an advanced constructor in the outpost, but can I make 3 more flux coils is the question. You know what? Let's take a look in here. Do I have any ore in here? I mean, any ingots in here? I do not. Okay. So, I don't think that we can make ourselves... yeah, we don't have neodymium. That's what we're missing to make flux coils. Okay, so I guess for now then, we're just going to have to make do with a large constructor. So let's queue one of those up. Now, actually, before... Hold on a sec. Stop. Let's cancel that for a second. Because I actually have some base equipment over here that I've looted. And let me see what we actually have here. We have a fuel tank. We have a small Jenny. Oxygen generator will not do us any good on the moon. We have a clone chamber. I'd rather have a medic station. We have some doors. We'll take a full stack of concrete blocks with us. Shutter window. We might need some elevators. And... yeah, that's a base fuel tank. And that is too, but we'll just take the bigger one. Because it's definitely going to be a place that I'm going to have the power turned off when we're not there. It's just going to be an outpost and in a kind of an emergency place if I get, my ship gets blown up and I'm stuck on the moon or something like that. We'll have enough stuff there to recover and get back. Now, so what were we doing? We were going to make a large constructor. We already have the fuel tank. We already have the Jenny. Even though I have that clone chamber, I'd really rather have a medic bay. And yeah, we can make a medic bay. Okay, we're going to need a ventilator. Let's go look over here again. I don't remember if I looked specifically to see if we had a ventilator. We do not. Okay. So we're going to need a ventilator. Let's see. Ventilator is... I just saw it. Where'd it go? There. Ventilator. Definitely going to want some oxygen tanks. Probably even 2 of those. And we'll take a bunch of oxy with us when we get there. Let's see. What else? I guess we'll take an ammo... yeah, we'll take an ammo box. I'm actually planning on making this base underground, though, so we really don't need to worry about, drones or anything, just because I don't want them blowing it up when I'm not there. And is there anything else really essential? Armor locker that we would want to build and take with us? Well, how about a core? Yeah, that might be important. Yeah, we don't want to forget the core. And then, of course, we're going to want some storage, too. So, storage, cargo blocks, I don't know, let's do like 4 of those. Because, again, this is just an outpost. It's not going to be a place where, you know, I'm going to spend a lot of time in, but I just want to have just the basics there to survive. ATM, elevators. We're bringing 4. Well, I think that's good. We do want hangar doors too. So, yeah, let's do a hangar door. And that's probably enough to get us going, I would think. Those are base armor doors. Okay, so let's do the switch idea here. What we're going to do is we're going to put the switches right here. And so I want to be able to turn this thing on from out here. So that way I'm not standing next to it when I turn it on and get... that's not going to fit there, is it? Alright, I guess we're going to have to... okay, we've got a problem. We've got a little problem here. It's not going to let me fit it. I guess I can put it on the cargo box. Alright, well, if it lets me do it, then that's what we'll do. Okay, so here's how this works. If we're just going to do a basic switch that's going to power something and not, you know, do the advanced circuitry, what we want to do is, first of all, we go to the switch itself, which is the lever right here, okay? And we want to go to signal logic, and we want to name the lever want to give it a name so we can understand what its job is. In this case, it's going to be, we'll call it furnace on. Okay, so the job of this lever is to obviously turn the furnace on, okay? Now, what we do is we go to the furnace itself, which is right here. And we want to select the furnace on signal, which we have assigned to the lever. And then we can have it either follow, toggle, on or off. Okay? And basically for a lever, follow, if you turn the lever on so it's green, it turns the item on and keeps it on. And then when you turn it off and it turns red, then it turns it off, which is exactly what we want it to do. Toggle, it doesn't really make sense for a lever. It can, but if you use toggle on a lever, you have to actually turn it off and on twice to get it to work. But basically, toggle is one way is on and the other way is off. That's something you're going to want to use more with motion sensors or pressure plates. On means you turn it on and it just stays on all the time. And off means you turn it off and it stays off all the time. As opposed to follow, which will turn it off and then on when you... every time you flip the switch. So if I set it to on, it's going to turn on and then nothing. It's just permanently on from then on out or off. So I'm not sure when you would use these signals. You might use them, maybe to trigger an explosion or something like that. I'm not really sure because of the fact that they are, a one-time use. That's probably what you might use them for. I'm not sure. But follow is what we want for the lever itself. Okay. So what that means is when I turn it on, it's going to, when I turn the switch on, it's going to turn the furnace on. And then when I turn the switch back off, it'll turn it off. And that's what follow means. This is invert, which would just basically mean switch off and on. So if I check this, when I turn the switch off, it turns the furnace on. And when I turn the switch on, it turns the furnace off, which in our particular case, we don't need to use that. Inversions you will sometimes use in more complex circuits. But in this particular case, we don't need to use that. All right, so it should work now. So as soon as I flip this switch, look at that. It turns the furnace on, and I don't have to be in there standing next to it, or I don't have to go into the P menu, find the furnace, hunt for it in the menu, and then turn it on, excuse me, from here. That's a bunch of screwing around. All I have to do is flip the switch. That turns it off. That turns it on. Isn't science wonderful? Okay, so we got that finished. That's cool. That's cool. Let's grab all this stuff. I'm absolutely certain that I'm forgetting something because I always forget something. But I don't know what that is. So, let's see. This is concrete blocks. So, yeah, we'll take... Well, actually, I guess we can take a couple of those. And, is there anything else I need to take up there? Those are steel blocks. We don't need those. Let's also take some food with us. Oh, we're going to need a refrigerator, and we're going to need a generator. Wait, did I make a generator? No, I have a generator. Okay. We do need a refrigerator, though. Glad I thought about that. So that way we can keep some food there. Well, no, let's think about this for a minute. If we keep a refrigerator there, then we have to keep the power on. We could turn everything off except for the refrigerator, or we could mess with solar power. I have not used solar power in this game yet, so I guess let's try it. Let's give it a shot. I don't know how many of these panels I will need. Does it tell us how much power it puts out? I'm not seeing that. So the capacitor is, I believe, what we need to store the power. So we're gonna mess with them, and we'll just try it out. This will be my first time using solar power in this particular game because it's a relatively new item, and it's not something that was in the game the last time I played. So we'll mess with it, and we'll see if we can actually get that to work the way we want it to. But we're also going to bring, fuel too. And so let's bring, let's just bring all of that. That should be plenty of fuel. We might even take a little bit of promo with us, and that doesn't even belong in there. And let's also take some oxygen. In fact, we should go harvest I bet our oxygen generator at the other end of the lake is completely full right now. But let's take 4 of those with us. Keep at the base, because that's going to be super critical up there, obviously. And then I think I want to take a stack of nitrocellulose, 2. And I'm pretty sure we can get iron on the moon to make ammo and stuff like that. So, the other thing we're going to do up there while we're up there, guys, is we're going to grab some pentaxid too whilst we're up there. Okay, so I think that's good. So anyway, we're going to, we made a refrigerator, or did we make a refrigerator? We need to make a refrigerator. Let's make a refrigerator. Let's see, where's that at? Tech 2 fridge. Let's make a couple of those. And then we're going to let's take some of these rations with us. We should probably take some water too, shouldn't we? Alright, let's do this. Let's put this stack back in here, because again, I'm building this inside, so I'm only going to use the concrete to line the place. We might want to actually take those. We don't need the clone chamber since we made a medical bay. And I still have to load that up too, don't I? We might have to drop off a couple of explosives to fit everything. Either that, or we can just go up to the ship and put some stuff in the ship. Where's my med bay? Didn't I make a med bay? I don't see the med bay. Med bay, where are you? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. We have the med bay. Let's put a couple of these away to make a little more room. I don't think we're going to have time to do any raiding in this episode. But I also wanted to take a little canned food, though, too. Look at all that awesome food. Let's take a half a stack of these. And I'm going to eat this right now just to top my food off. Yummy yum. Dino Stew Royale. And we'll take these cans up there with us in half of the rations. So that way we have food up there if we need it. I still feel like I'm forgetting something. I just can't remember what it is. Oh, we don't need these hardened steel blocks with us either. So that can go there. 2 hangar doors. No, I don't think we need that. We don't need a water generator. And I think that's it. Okay. Let's... Oh. That's right. We're also going to do a motion sensor that would turn off the lights. Let's try that real quick. I don't think that'll take us too long. It's this one here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll let us put the sensor up here. All right, what if we do this? What if we take that block out? That looks like crap. Wait for the jump jet to recharge. Okay, so let's put the sensor here. We want to flip it around, and we also want to change it to a motion sensor. Cool. Now, will it sense me if I go past it? Oh, come on. Really? Does it get blocked by the elevator? Let's try this. I don't know if this will work or not, guys. Maybe it's too low. Okay, let's try... Let's take that back down. I wonder how we could do this. Well, let's try this. This is just an experiment. Put the motion sensor there. Doesn't seem to be... Maybe I have to configure it first. So let's see. Interactive setup. Front, side. So I'm assuming this means that within, excuse me, 3 blocks of the front of it, it would trigger it? Oh, look at that. Okay. What does interactive setup do? Oh, cool. Check that out. Oh, nice. Okay. So, excuse me. That means it should actually work then. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I wonder too if it actually needs to be exposed. I wonder if we could just... Well, no. I guess that won't work because it's considered a block. So we are going to have a gap here, unfortunately. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. All right. So let's put this in. All right. So now it's set. So let's do this. Let's do front. So it should only have to go... Okay, there's 1 block, 2 blocks. And it doesn't need to go to the sides or up or down or anything like that. Okay? Nice. Perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go... We got to figure out the lights. Here, let's do this. Let's get back out of here for a second. Whoop. Come down. So we have these 3 lights. The one thing I'm not sure about, though, is can we set up a circuit on a group rather than an individual? Shortcut custom 1. That does turn the group of lights off. Man, it's still really bright in here. Okay. So there's our lights. Custom 1. I don't know how to mess with that, but I'll tell you what, let's leave that on there because maybe that's exactly what we need. Now, if we go to the motion sensor, no, that isn't going to work. So I guess we do have to select them individually. Okay. Why doesn't it give me the option? Oh, because I'm on the wrong screen, that's why. Okay, yeah, so it's not giving me the option to do a signal on the group of lights. Maybe that is a thing you can do, and I'm just not you know, I just don't know how to do it. So we'll have to mess with that maybe later. Okay, so we're going to call this light sensor. And then we might even want to call it like basement lights. Basement light sensor. Okay. Whoop. Out of characters. So you know what? Let's just call it just basement sensor. Or no, let's call it basement lights, because we already know it's a sensor. Basement lights. Okay. So we've named that. Now, if we go to the group, we have to go to each individual light, and we choose basement lights. And this, if we do a follow, I think, well, I don't know. We'll have to test it. Let's just leave it on follow first. Okay. So, let's turn the lights on. We want devices, lights on. Okay. So when we pop up here now, I can't tell if it turned them off or not. It didn't. Oh, now it turned them off. You know what I think we need to do? I think we need to invert those signals. Or set it to toggle. Let's try toggle first, because I'm pretty sure an inversion will work if toggle does not. Let's do a toggle, and a toggle. Okay. So that turned them on. That turned them on. That turned them off. But we have to do it twice. So I don't think that's what we want. Okay. So I think what we want to do is we want to go back to follow, but we want to invert it. Like that. Okay? So when we leave, the lights should turn off. Yep, they're all off. You can hardly tell, it's still so bright down here. Uh-oh. What happened? Did they just turn on again? What the hell? If I go all the way up here... Oh, okay. So what's happening is it's only turning them off as long as I'm in the range of the sensor. Okay. What if we set this back then to just normal follow? Okay, now let's try it. They're off, they're on, but then they're off again. So that's not working either. So I'm thinking toggle's what we want. I'm thinking toggle is what we want with that. So let's set this to toggle. Well, actually, before we do that, let's turn the lights back on. Okay. Now, we'll set this to toggle. And we'll set this one to toggle. And we'll set this one to toggle. I'm still not sure if that's what we need though. Oh, okay. So even though it bleeped twice upon entry and exit, it kept them off, which is exactly what we want. Now if we go down, it bleeps twice, but it keeps them on. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay. So, because it understands that, well, yeah, it understands that, you know, you enter the signal and you exit the signal. But really, that's just one trip of the whole thing, even though you hear the bleep twice. If that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but anyway. All right, I think that's what we wanted to do. Now, we could actually, to conserve power, we could turn some other things off down here that we don't want running while we're away too. Speaking of which, let's fill that back up. So other things that don't need to be on while we're down here. Let's see. Go to devices. Armor locker. Armor locker is already off. Oh no, that's just show on HUD. I guess it does. It does take 5 kilowatts of power, but it doesn't seem to have. Oh. So will that turn that off then? I mean, is it even on? Here, let's do something here. See, the thing is, though, I don't see any way to power this off and on, so I think it's probably drawing that power all the time. So I think that's probably doesn't help us. Alright, so let's go back into here and remove this from the signal because it doesn't make sense. Things that will take power. The constructors, but see, the thing is I don't know if I want to automatically always turn those off because I might have something queued up and then, you know, while I'm gone, right? So I'm going to keep those on. Food processors. Okay, those could be powered down when we're not in here. So let's set that to toggle. And let's set that to toggle. I know it still says basement lights, but... Okay. The fridges we want on all the time for sure. The fuel tank we want all the time. Genie we want on all the time. Growing lights all the time. Medic station. Why do I have 2 medics? Oh, I got one upstairs and downstairs. That's right. It doesn't look like that's something we can power off and on. Okay, so that doesn't matter. And I think that's it. Everything else we want to keep on. So we could turn these off as well. So they're both on right now. So if we go up here, are they now both off? Yes, they are. Cool. And the lights should be off, which they are. And then when we go back down, the lights came on, and the food processors appear to be on. And let's check them in here. Yes, they are. Excellent. Okay. There you have it. So, lever turns on furnace, and motion sensor turns lights off, and food processors off while we're not here. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. There might be something in there we could have turned off too. But anyway, I spent more time on that than I was planning to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to head off into space. We're going to go to the moon. Let's see. I got an EVA boost on my suit. We're doing good. I got emergency oxygen if we need it. Extra oxygen there. We got plenty of ammo for our guns. We got plenty of packs for our drill charge and our multi-charge. We got food. Water. Water. We might need some water. Let's go grab some water. I was actually going to put some water in here, but I didn't have room at that moment. So let's just take, I don't know. We only have room for 1 stack of it anyway, so we'll just take 1 stack. Okay. Hi, motion sensor. Look at that. That's so cool. So cool, man. So cool. Okay, here we go. Time for a trip to the moon.